Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Ben, who is the founder and managing director of Targeted SEO. Hey, Ben, how are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. How are you doing?
All good, Ben. Ben, before we move any forward, let's get to know the human behind the mic. Why don't you talk us through your journey so far? And how did you start Targeted SEO? How is it going? And we take it from there.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, obviously Ben at Targeted SEO. We founded the agency in 2017, but prior to that, I had quite a long and very successful career working for a range of different businesses, really. I actually started my career as a graphic designer and then progressed into web design. And then I was lucky enough to work for a company called Garmin, and they're an American GPS company. And I was there for about 10 years. And really, I was working on the global website, working with the team in America, and yeah, really learned a lot about marketing and online marketing. And eventually that got to the point where I was a digital manager and I started to play around with SEO in my spare time and started building my own websites and really learning the power of what you can actually achieve with SEO. That led me to actually create the company. We started to get our own clients, and it's really grown over the last 4 or 5 years. It's been a bit of a journey. So we've got something like 60, 70 clients now. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey, but yeah, it's been great so far.
Lovely. And what were some of the game-changing decisions or strategies that, fuel the expansion of your ambitious SEO agency? Like you're mentioning, 60, 70 clients in a span of 6, 7 years is quite a rapid growth.
Yeah, it's been pretty rapid. I think the way that we approached SEO, because I had the background in web design, we were able to design and build great looking websites, but then also apply successful SEO to those websites. And I think that's really helped us maybe stand out a bit more. I was also very fortunate because my partner in crime, actually my wife, Emma, she came from a content and advertising background. And she'd also worked with some bigger companies. She was at Carnival UK, they're a big cruise company. She was an advertising manager there. And with her skills of creating content and my web design skills, the two just combined really well together. And we
Mhm.
just so happened to partner up. And I'm not sure everyone can obviously work with their wife or partner, but for us, bit of a,
You
it's been a
bet.
bit
Yeah.
of a success. So, but I think because we do two different roles, she's very much content, whereas I'm more on page SEO, maybe a bit of offsite as well, and the design side of things. That's why it's worked so well. Yeah.
Lovely. And setting up an agency and making that successful are two different ball games altogether, right? So, in the early days of targeted SEO, what were some of the biggest hurdles that you would have faced establishing your agency? We understand how difficult is it those early days to keep the lights on. So, what were those initial challenges and how did you overcome them?
I think initial challenges is making companies and businesses realize the power of SEO. I think as an industry, obviously it has grown massively and there is a lot more trust in the industry now. But I think several years ago, maybe it wasn't still, people were still learning to trust SEO and the process and having the patience to stick with it as well. As we know, you really need to be investing in an SEO strategy for 12, 24 months and longer for the life of your website, really, and trying to show and highlight the benefits. And after 6 months, okay, things are moving, but you're not going to see that massive increase, in traffic, over such a short period of time. It really is a long-term marketing strategy. And I think once you show what you're doing and you can dive into Search Console and other software, SEMrush, Ahrefs, whatever you're using, and start to show that actually the piece of content you published 3 or 4 months ago is now starting to get impressions and clicks and it is actually working. That's when companies will go, actually, yeah, I can see how this is going to compound over time and really start to grow. So yeah, I think early days it is about that trust. We didn't have much of a reputation being a new agency. We didn't have many case studies. We didn't have many Google reviews. But I
Yeah,
think
right.
it's all about building that up. And obviously, it takes time. You have to get those case studies in there. You have to get testimonials from people. And I think once you start doing that, and people start to notice you a bit more and trust what you do.
Lovely. And what are some of the common pitfalls or challenges that SEO agencies face while scaling their operations? I mean, like you mentioned, yours is a journey wherein you started out, initial days were difficult, like everyone would be facing, and now you have scaled up, right? So, what do you feel are some of the common pitfalls or challenges that agencies face? And in your case, how would you have navigated those challenges?
I think you can invest a lot of money in the wrong things sometimes.
Mhm.
We've been very lucky that we've hired well. We've got a great team of skilled people. And I think sometimes you can be in the danger of spending or investing your money in the wrong areas. When I was first starting out and I was diving into the world of affiliate marketing and trying to focus on that side of things. And I did spend a lot of money on sites that really, they just failed. It didn't take off for various reasons. I've been hit by Google updates. I've had an affiliate website get, yeah, basically by a Google update. And I think until you've done that and you've tested what's possible, that's how you
Mhm.
can learn. And it's even more important when you're working on client websites because obviously they're investing their marketing budgets with you, and you've got to really make sure that you're doing everything right. You're not doing anything, dodgy and doing any sort of dodgy offsite SEO. You've really got to
Yeah.
try and very transparent in what you're doing and try and do it the way Google wants you to do it really, and we have
Right.
to conform to to them really. But yeah, I think yeah, that's one of the things really.
Talking about offsite SEO, Ben, what are some of the good link building strategies as per you? And what do you prefer, guest posts versus niche edits? What is your take on that?
I think guest posting, niche edits, they still work. Like all this talk of EEAT and everything like that. I mean, if you're still getting decent links on decent websites that have got
Right.
traffic, they're in good neighborhoods, they've got organic traffic, they're ranking for things that, would that type of site, should be ranking for.
Right.
If you start to look at these sites and they've got every topic under the sun, yeah, it's quite clear that they're just solely there for
Right.
manipulating DR, domain authority, whatever it is. And you just need to make sure that the sites you're getting content produced on and links back to your client websites, they are trustworthy. And ultimately, you want to be able to show those sites to your clients and go, great, look, we've got some decent links here for you. And that's where the transparency can come in a bit more. Niche edits depends. I think they can work. Again, if it looks really forced in the content, then
Yeah.
yeah, again, you're not really going to want to show that to a client. Yeah, it depends. But we love saying that, don't we, in the industry? It depends.
And you have witnessed the SEO landscape change, right? Not only from your agency days, but before that as well, since you have been in the industry for quite some time now. So,
Yeah,
what is that one most significant shift, if I were to put it that way, that you have observed in how search engines approach website ranking and content evaluation?
that's a great question. A significant shift. With all these Google updates, there's always going to be something that your site might get hit by something, but you really, if you're focusing on building a great user experience, a great website that's got great content on it, then you should really stand the test of time. Okay, an update might come along, you might lose a bit of traffic, but really diving into that site, is the content as good as it should be, as it can be? Have you got decent links from decent websites related to your industry? Things like that. Just it's not always rocket science. So I think, yeah, SEO is getting harder. Obviously, it's getting more competitive. Best time to start SEO was several years ago, but we are where we are. And I think if you're sticking to those core values when you approach it, then you should be building a website that stands the test of time and is an asset to your company. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Ben, in your case, you have seamlessly combined your design background with SEO expertise. So, what advice would you give to businesses trying or aiming to strike the right balance between the aesthetic appeal side of things and search engine optimization on their website?
Yeah, of course. There's always a good balance between having a really nicely designed website that is aesthetically pleasing, that's well branded, and having good on-page SEO, good technical SEO,
Mhm.
making sure that you've got the correct markup of content, internal linking, whatever that is. But so many times I've seen websites that they just try too hard. They've got things moving all over the place, and
Yeah.
they're really thin. They've got like 100 words of content on a page, and they're looking at it going, why aren't I ranking for my key service here, or what, or product, or what it is? It's just because you've got a terrible user experience, but the website's all over the place. Maybe you've given Google mixed messages. It's like, really think about it. And
What exactly are you up to? And can you share some tactics, Ben, which you have used to effectively market your agency and attract new clients? Because as an agency, while you're established, obviously it's still easy. I would not say easy, but yeah, you have a word around in the market. But when you're starting out, when you're decently new, what are those strategies and one agency owner listening to us today can apply to attract new clients?
there's the obvious ones that if you're based in a city or location, then try and rank for the keywords related to that city. That's always one of the obvious ones that when we started targeted SEO, we did rank number one for SEO agency Southampton, SEO consultant Southampton, all those related search terms, and that did actually generate our first leads. These days, we're not so bothered about being number one for it, because sometimes you do get a mixed bag in terms of inquiries, but that's a really good starting point. Then start to go after industries. Type of industries that do you want to work with? We've done quite well with accountants and mortgage brokers. And if you build great websites and great content and do some great SEO in those industries, then that can really start to generate a name for yourself. You can start getting more referrals and really get to know those industries as well. For us personally, we've attended in the UK some big accounting shows. We've actually exhibited at a couple, and that really starts to get you known in the industry. And yes, they're quite expensive to go to these events. You do start to get contacts, and you start to network, and that's probably the best way to get started, really.
Lovely. So Ben, what is your favorite client story?
Favorite client story? Oh, we've got quite a few, actually. I think just talking about accountants and mortgage brokers, we've done quite well with working with several accountants, and for us, that's been great. It's worked really well for us. And I think when you start to tap into some of those industries, yeah, it can really grow your agent. Favorite client stories, any individual ones, quite a few to pick from. We've recently done quite well in renewable energy and tapping into that market a bit more, like solar panels and air source heat pumps. And I think for us, it's when you see you've been working on a website for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and you start to see that growth. And the client themselves, they're really busy, and they actually then see the reward. We can't handle the inquiries. We've actually had clients say, can you turn it off? Can you turn off SEO now? We've got too much. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of some of the results that we've got for our clients. Yeah. And a lot of our clients have been with us for 4 or 5 years now. So you end up becoming friends with them, and you have that sort of relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when it is really difficult to say a no to a client, but have you ever done that? And if yes, I mean, I'm sure you would have, but what is the backstory? Why did you say no to that client?
Yeah, not every business or every client is the right fit for you. It can come down to a cultural fit, or do you warm to that particular person? Do you think you'd be able to work with them? And sometimes it might be that you can't see a relationship happening with that particular client. Maybe it could be as simple as you don't really like them. But also you can look at their website and think, actually, what they're trying to do isn't quite right. It doesn't fit in with how we work. So yeah, you've got to be confident to just say, no, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for us. But I'd always try and suggest another area or another agency or another advertising method that they could go after. So it isn't always possible with some industries and some clients.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that.
Yeah, it's a case by case basis, really, and that's how we approach it. And it's not, SEO isn't a set and forget solution. If you can't just pay your monthly retainer and just go, right, I'm doing SEO, and just leave them to it. Some agencies might work like that. But for us, we want to have regular comms with you. We want to, what service you want to focus on next, or is there something happening in your industry that we need to be creating content around? And you really get to know that client and their business. It's really important. And I think that's where you get the most success, really.
Yeah, getting more involved in the entire process, right? Going beyond your contractual obligation, just getting footfalls to the website. I remember one of our clients talking about how they actually picked up the phone for the lead gen that they were doing and analyzed the entire backend operations and
Yeah.
what is the client's team answering when they're picking up the phone, right? Because while you can, as an agency, you can do a whole lot of SEO, PPC, whatever, right? The end objective is to get the phones ringing, but what is happening after the phones are ringing, right?
Yeah.
So the back-end business ops is also so critical while you are getting that footfall to the business. So yeah, it is getting involved as much as you can, while obviously you'll have a lot of clients, but to get invested in that particular client's business, to understand what they're doing, how they're doing, and then
Yeah.
really take it from there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually why we're hiring at the moment. We're about to take on a new client account manager because for us, we have an SEO account manager who does a lot of obviously looking at the overall strategies and communicating with clients and reporting and that type of thing. But we also want a client manager to come in to really nurture that relationship a lot more. It makes the client feel valued. They get a lot more visibility in what's happening. And for us, it's really important to, yeah, to understand, yeah, in terms as you were just saying, what actually happens once that traffic comes into the website. How does it convert? What happens? What's the process? And yeah, and anything like that. And I think that is where you can really start to stand out as an agency if you're doing these little
Correct.
extra things. We're not just doing SEO, but we're really trying to be integral to your business, and we're here to support your business growth. And yeah, yeah, it all helps really.
Absolutely. So Ben, talking about you are an out and out SEO agency, what excites you most about the future of SEO?
There's been a lot of talk around AI and how that
Yeah.
is used, and we've seen case studies where people building really powerful websites using AI, and but on the flip side of that, being hit with updates and things as well. I think, yeah, it's constantly evolving. SEO is always changing. I think it's always going to be around. People will always need a great website. I think seeing how AI is going to be integrated into obviously the search results a lot more, and how that's going to impact the websites that we look after and manage, and start to deal with that really. I think anyone coming into the industry, it's a brilliant industry to be involved in. You can learn a lot. That's one of the things as well is all the different industries that we work across, from pest control to mortgage brokers, and you end up picking up all this stuff that I'm an expert in bed bugs now, or how to get rid of rats. It's like, how do I end up knowing all this stuff because some of our client websites are in those industries? But yeah, yeah, I'm great in a quiz. So
Great. Ben, finally, what is that piece of advice you'd want to give to our listeners today, especially young folks who are trying to make a mark in the digital marketing space, trying to get into this space, or let's say people who are already there in this space and trying to be entrepreneurs, trying to start their own agency?
advice, I think you've got to start somewhere. If it's building your own websites, testing, that's a great way to get into it. Just start building your own websites and just seeing what you can create. And that's a great learning exercise as well. That if you can then monetize those websites, if they start getting enough traffic, that Ezoic ads on them, or Amazon is, you're not going to earn loads of money on the commission unless you get lots of traffic. But it's a good starting point. That affiliate marketing is, and content marketing is a good area to start into, and then maybe get some retained clients, because you only need 3 or 4 clients on monthly retainers. And if you're just a single person and you're outsourcing some of that as well, then happy days. It's a great starting point, really. But just build relationships, build your network, get a bit of trust out there, maybe set up a business profile on Google, get a few reviews, get some case studies in there. And that's how we started. And several years later, we're quite successful. So yeah, even if I do say so myself. But yeah.
Lovely. Lovely, Ben. Before I let you go, I want to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
Yeah, sure, go on then.
All right. Your last Google search.
My last Google search was you actually this morning.
All right. Okay. Your last vacation.
My last vacation, I went to Jordan.
Okay. Your celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush. My wife's in the other room. Can't think of one.
Okay.
Um,
Your favorite sport.
Football, of course. I'm a Southampton fan for my sins, and we got thrashed
Hmm.
last night by Leicester. So yeah, not a good subject at the moment.
Not for us as well, being a Man United fan. Okay. What did you do with your first paycheck, Ben? First paycheck of your life.
Oh, first paycheck. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
No idea. No idea. I don't know. Probably bought some beer.
All right. Great. I will not really any further, Ben. Thank you so much for taking out time to do this with us. Really appreciate it. And for our guests, if they want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Yeah, just come to our website, targetedseo.co.uk, fill out a contact form. I'm on LinkedIn as well, so feel free to DM me and get in touch.
Perfect. Thank you, Ben. Really a pleasure. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.